In this episode, we bring you daily news from Europe. 3 topics today, each getting 2 minutes because we value your time. First, Germany launches another deportation flight to Iraq. Second, economists sound the alarm. Working in Germany is no longer worth it. Third, the German government shocks businesses with bold statements. We'll dive into all of this now. Please give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is crucial for growing our daily channel about events in Europe and even more important for you, so you don't miss tomorrow's must-know news. Even if today's stories don't grab you, tomorrow's news could change your life. Let's start with Germany's deportation policy. Recently, another deportation flight took off from Germany, heading to Iraq's capital, Baghdad, with 43 people on board. German police, as always, ensured the operation's safety. Interior Minister Alexander Dobrindt announced that authorities are working hard to ramp up deportations. They're expanding partnerships with other countries to facilitate repatriation. This isn't the first such flight, and it won't be the last. German media report that the government aims to speed up the process of removing those without legal status to stay. Meanwhile, human rights groups are raising concerns, warning that some deportees may face danger back home. It's a tricky issue, and Germany is deeply divided. Some demand stricter enforcement, others call for more compassion. For now, the government is pushing forward, with Dobrindt hinting at more flights to come. This topic's heating up, and we'll keep you posted. Honestly, this deportation situation raises tough questions. On one hand, it's clear why Germany wants to tighten its migration policy. They've welcomed millions, and not everyone's integrated. But on the other, what about those fleeing war or persecution, sending them back to danger? These aren't just numbers, they're people's lives. It's striking how quickly politicians make these calls, often ignoring the fallout. German media show a society splitting apart, some shouting deport them all, others pleading for humanity. The truth, as usual, lies in the middle. But one thing's certain, this issue isn't going away, and the debates will only get louder. I'd love to see leaders find a balance instead of chasing headlines. Now let's talk about why working in Germany has become unappealing. Renowned economist Andreas Peichl, head of the Munich Center for Macroeconomics, slammed the country's welfare system. He says it's set up so some people have no reason to work. For example, a family in Munich earning €3,500 or €5,500 before taxes ends up with nearly the same take-home pay. Why? Higher earnings mean losing housing and child benefits. Of the 4 million people on welfare who could work, only 800,000 do. That's just a fifth. Germany's desperate for workers, not just skilled ones, but also those without degrees. Peichl suggests 2 fixes. Offer more incentives, like raising tax-free income, or crack down by cutting benefits by 30%. The government's quiet for now, but the economy needs a push, or the labor shortage will only worsen. No, seriously, this is absurd. Working's no longer worth it. In Germany, of all places, where hard work's practically a national badge, yet here we are. People find it smarter to stay on benefits. I get it. Why grind when you end up with the same cash? It's like running a marathon for the same prize as a stroll. Peichl's spot on. The system's broken. What gets me is that politicians have known about this for years but done nothing. Businesses are screaming for workers, and the government's just shrugging. If this keeps up, Germany could lose its economic edge. Something's got to change fast, or all this talk of reform will stay just that, talk. Plus now to the German government's surprising remarks. At the World Economic Summit in Berlin, Vice-Chancellor Lars Klingbeil spoke to big business leaders from companies like Henkel and Siemens. They demanded lower energy costs and less red tape. Then Klingbeil dropped a bombshell. If the government fails on reforms, people with chainsaws will take over. It's a nod to Argentina's president, Javier Milei, who used a chainsaw to symbolize drastic reforms. Klingbeil insisted Democrats can't let this happen. He promised simpler processes, cheaper energy, and a modernized government. But he stressed the welfare state must stay intact. Businesses seem to want more concrete plans, not metaphors about Argentina. 61 companies pledged €600 billion in investments, but only if conditions improve. So far, it's sounding like promises, not action. Frankly, Klingbeil's chainsaw comment feels like a scare tactic, not a pep talk. Threatening businesses with radicals? Come on. Yes, companies want reforms, but they don't need dramatic metaphors. Comparing Germany to Argentina is way off. Different economies, different histories. It's odd that the Vice-Chancellor leaned on fear instead of solid plans. Businesses aren't naive. They want numbers, not stories. If the government keeps talking without acting, those 600 billion euros will stay a pipe dream. It's time to step up, not point fingers at imaginary chainsaw wielders. Please give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is crucial for growing our daily channel about events in Europe, and even more important for you, so you don't miss tomorrow's must-know news. Even if today's stories don't grab you, tomorrow's news could change your life.